Hi, guys. Melinda Vargas here. Welcome to Weekly Travel Updates. Well, if you haven't seen, we have this huge storm that is covering the East Coast. Here in North Carolina, a lot of our travelers, including our own family when I was young, Myrtle Beach was where we went every 4th of July. And right now, Myrtle Beach is experiencing flooding. The storm surges have come up into the street beyond the beachfront. If you have friends down there, even as far north as Cherry Grove, my favorite area, there is damage. Be sure to check with your friends. We have a lot of friends who have homes down there, particularly in North Myrtle. So when I saw this, I was just devastated because a lot of them, they don't go down there in the wintertime. They go there in the spring and summer and fall. Anyway, if you have friends down there, or check on them. I have one really good friend who is a retired missionary, and Debbie moved down there several years ago, and I need to check on her this week. Well, we are 7 days from Christmas. I'm so excited. I love Christmas. So if you haven't got that last Christmas present, you know, Action Travel is in the midst of doing gift certificates. So we can do a gift certificate that says, hey, you're going to Disney, or you're going on a cruise. One of my travelers this weekend came in and said, I want you to write a letter to my bride, and I want you to invite her on your Alaska trip. And I want you to say Santa is going on the Alaska trip July 2nd to the 13th, and he would like for you to come along, but he's going anyway. And I said, well, I could say that first part, but I don't think I could say that second part. I have to leave that up to you. So this was the coolest idea because he wants me to write this letter, and I'm writing it in calligraphy. So, and I'm sticking it in the mail, and he says, I get the mail every day, and I'll stick it up in the Christmas tree. And once the kids and the grandkids get here, as we disperse gifts, I'll reach up in the tree and say, hey, Linda, there's something for you from Santa. And I just thought that was really cool and kind of romantic. They've been married 58 years. So I thought that was super cool. You know, some of the tips for the holidays are, number one, check before you leave. Check and make sure your flight's on time if you're flying. Check for delays, weather delays. Maybe your flight is flying right now, but with these storms, we could even see some flurries. Can you believe that? I love snow, so it's okay with me. But we could see some flurries. Be certain that you be at the airport 3 hours in advance. I know that sounds crazy, 3 hours in advance, but unless your flight is at 5 a.m., in which case TSA doesn't open until 4, but unless your flight is at 5 a.m., be at the airport. As we came back from our last trip, let's see, as I came back in November, the line to get in TSA was all of the TSA, you know, back and forth lines, and all the way down the wall to the very corner of RDU Airport. So let's say an extra 150 yards of people standing 3 to 4 people thick. If you got to the airport and thought you could do that in 2 hours, you won't make it. You won't make it. And do you know, if you miss a flight because you're not there in time, they are not obligated to put you on the next flight. They're not obligated to put you on a flight that day. Now, most will. And if I'm your travel agent, well, yes, they will, because we'll just rebook you on the next flight. But if you book online, be aware that there is not a guarantee unless you have checked in and you are sitting in the boarding area 45 minutes in advance. 45 minutes, guys. So you need to be there, because at 45 minutes, they can give your seat away. And here's what happens to these poor counter agents. They have a family walk up, and they want to sit together. And if it's 45 minutes in advance and you have not checked in at the counter at your boarding gate, you could end up missing your flight, because they could say that you were not there 45 minutes in advance. I have recently watched some of the airport encounters, and it's something that happens more frequently than you think. There was a story this past week, and there were just a bunch of guys headed to a football game. They went and dumped their stuff off at the gate, and they were at the very first bar down the sidewalk. It wasn't even 50 yards away, but there were games going on in there, and they didn't hear their names being called. They showed up 10 minutes before the flight, and their seats were given away. And they were going to a ball game this weekend. So don't you think those were some disappointed people? I'm not sure that drink was worth it. What do you think? Okay, so flying is one thing. Take snacks. Take a refillable water bottle. Short of tap water on a plane that you really do not want to drink. Drink soda or fill up a water bottle in the airport. That's filtered water. Once you get past TSA, you can fill it up and carry it on board. No problem at all. Snacks, guys, I've talked about this before, but one of my travelers is in Hawaii right now. And she said, do you know what that snack box cost? And I said, what? And she said, $8. And there was a small apple, a granola bar, a candy bar, and a muffin. $8. That's $2 a piece for those 4 little items. So take snacks. It's something to do. So kids are more easily entertained if they've got something that they're munching on. Take something activity-wise for them to do that doesn't always require Wi-Fi. I used to carry a little bag, and it had all kinds of things in it for tray, for reading books to coloring books to activity books, sticker books. Do something so that they're not bored and their flying is a happy trip as well. Then, if you're driving, check with the Highway Patrol. Do you know, in the state of North Carolina, and I would imagine most other states as well, you can check in online at the State Highway Patrol office to see what road conditions are. Now, we're going to drive up in the mountains to meet my brother and Trey and Maya, and for our little Christmas gathering. And in order to do that, I'm going to check the roads, because I kind of do want snow. It would be awfully fun. And I watched the kids ski last year and snowboard, and I'm not sure I'm that brave, but I do want to get in the snow this year. And since we're going to be there few days, I plan on doing just that. So, next, if you're driving and you checked with the State Highway Patrol of the states that you're going to be traveling through, make sure that you have an emergency kit. Do you know the travelers that are stranded in snow and ice in the north today? That was not an expected storm. I mean, they could see it coming, but it was supposed to be more of a rain event, and it has been quite the opposite. So have an emergency kit in your car, a blanket, water. I don't have a flare in my car, but I have a blanket and water and some snacks. So just being a little bit more prepared will take some of the stress off of you. So we're all stressed, and I am going to show you one thing that will relieve a little bit of stress. Dr. Barnsley Brown showed us this technique, and I'm going to share it with you because I was quite surprised at a news report today I heard today that said 78% of people who are employed say that they're more stressed now than they were last year at this time. I don't know that I'm more stressed, but I'm a little stressed. So I'm going to show you this technique. And so cup your hand. Why have I got a shadow? Cup your hand and put it right at the back of your neck, like just at the base of your skull. And then take this hand and put it right on your forehead. And close your eyes and just contemplate a minute. For me, it's time to connect. So it's like, Lord Jesus, be with me today. Give me strength. Thank you for our health. Thank you for Mom's health. Thank you that our family is doing well. I pray for our kids, Lord. I pray for protection. I pray for the families that are in need this year, just before the holidays. And we'll be careful to thank you and praise you for your answer, Father. In Christ's name, amen. Now, if you hold this here for about a minute, it will just lessen your stress. It did for me even right then. It was like, oh, I could when I took my hand away, I could actually feel a little bit of stress leaving. Try it. It costs nothing. It's free. Let's see. Then the next thing. Well, tomorrow is Businesswomen's Networking meeting, our meeting in my office down in Mebane, and we're having a Christmas coffee. So if you're available in the morning, feel free to come. There's not a cost. We are going to have a Secret Santa exchange. So bring a $10 gift if you want to participate in that. But we're super excited to talk about our goals at the end of the year, how we're going to start off the new year. We are just a group of entrepreneurs, mainly some direct sales people. I think everybody but one person is a business owner. So we're just a good sounding board. You know, if you have a business problem and you come into our meeting, somebody there has got the answer. Bet you. So the door is going to open at 8 o'clock. Coffee will be ready by 8:15. I got all kinds of creamers and stuff to go in it and whipped cream, and it's going to be beautiful. But we'd love to have you tomorrow. We officially start at 8:30, and we'll go until about 9:30. But we're going to play the gift exchange game at 8:40 because Diane Cow-Smith has got to get to work, and she'll have to get on the road by 9 o'clock. So we figure that'll give us 20 minutes to play the game. I went to a meeting this morning for Alamance Leads, and I got a candle, and it was beautiful. So I took one of Mom's arrangements as my gift exchange. So let's see. I talked about that. All right. I'm trying to really focus on what I need to do and not have to read notes. So the next thing is to tell you about our Alaska in July trip. We are going to be a group of about 30 people, and we are going to fly out of Raleigh-Durham to Fairbanks. We're going to spend one night in Fairbanks at the Princess Lodge, and then we'll go southbound to Mount McKinley, or Denali now, to Denali National Park, and we'll stay 3 nights there. And now we're there the week of the 4th. So can you not imagine how much fun we will have? White River rafting, gold panning. We're going in the middle of summer, so the weather will be warm. The water still won't be warm, but it'll be warm enough that I'll be gold panning. And after 3 days, we're going to get on the Alaska Railroad, and it will take us from Denali down to Whittier, where we're going to board the Royal Princess. I'm so excited. It's been a number of years since I've been on a princess ship. They're doing a promotion, which gave us a super good fare. You know, you can do this 11-day trip. It's starting at $3,900 per person. That is your airfare, your cruise for 7 days, your 3-day pre-cruise, your railroad trip. You need to reach out to us. We'd love to have you. Now, we're just a little bit selective because this is my vacation too. So reach out to us at 336-222-TRIP. And you get Melinda for number 1, and you get Whitney Carroll for number 2. And Rochelle, I put her picture on our banner for today, but Rochelle is kind of stepping back a little more. She says, I'm going to retire, but you know, she has been saying that for a little while, and she's not retired yet. So we're hoping. We love her to pieces, and between she and I, we have over 75 years of experience. So we are anxious to serve you. Let's see now. The deals that can be had this time of year, one of the things is you could buy something to put on their door, your traveler's door. Like when we were on the cruise ship, Mom bought this metal thing. It was about this long, and it said, enjoy. And it had a piece of jute string across the top of it. Well, it fit just perfect right over our door marker. And so that's what we had on our door. I have some more at the office, and they're available. I have got custom gift baskets at the office, or I can do one custom just for you. We're ready to make your Christmas merry and bright. Thank you for checking us out. Thank you guys for watching. Ooh, let me see if I have comments, because I never get back to see them. Oh, Charles Wagner. Guess what, Charles? I found a railroad trip that goes around Scotland. So you get on in Edinburgh, and it goes south all the way to, oh shoot, where they play golf at? The old course. Oh, Melinda, it has just left my mind. Anyway, it goes almost to the border in the west side of Scotland. Then it goes a circle north and comes back down to Edinburgh. It's a 7-day departure. You know, my least favorite thing about traveling in Scotland and Ireland is that you have to pack and unpack to see everything, because things are just too far apart to like hub and spoke it back and forth out of Edinburgh. You could see some things from Edinburgh, but then you'd have to move. And on our 11 days, A Taste of Scotland and Ireland, we only have had 2 places that we spent 2 nights. The other places we spent 1 night. And I learned a lot. I will pack lighter the next time I do a trip like that. But I thought that this rail trip was perfect. And Charles, I'm going to be putting together some pricing for later in the year next year. And I'll be sure to have it out. Reach out to me. Well, guys, I am going to sign off. I wish you a very, very Merry Christmas. I'm very thankful for my friends who watch and share. If you're watching on Facebook, please go like me on YouTube. I will, promise. Go like us on YouTube. I think I have like 32 subscribers. And here, a week doesn't go by that I don't have 100, 120, 170 people watch this. So some of you go over to YouTube. I didn't do it right. I built my following here instead of on YouTube. Thanks, Charles. Hug Michelle for me. Tell everybody at the Long family how much we love them and think of them this time of year. All right, guys. Have a wonderful week. Reach out to us if we can help you. If you want to go to Florida, I booked a round trip for $137 this week. $137 round trip to Miami. So if you've been waiting for that low fare, now's the time. And one more thing, I wanted to tell you, because I didn't get into it last week, the standby fares that Holland American is offering. They're offering Mutual Cruise. Now it's standby, so there are restrictions. Thanks, Michelle. There are restrictions, but you pay $49 a person a day. Now, I couldn't travel like that because I can't wait till 2 weeks in advance to know whether I'm on the ship or not. But if you're flexible and you could wait until 2 weeks in advance to find out if you get on, then shoot, I don't know of any other cruise that I could put you on for $49 a person a day. It is good for most sailings through the Caribbean, in Alaska. It is, I think where I will have a problem is a retired couple coming in and say they want to do Europe, and we look at a Holland American and they say, oh yeah, let's do this standby thing. And 2 weeks before departure, after we've already bought airline tickets and booked hotels to wrap around the cruise dates, then you don't get on the cruise. That would not be good. It wouldn't be good if you got to Alaska and you couldn't get on, or 2 weeks prior, you would have already bought your airline tickets for most places. Anyway, there is a place for it, I'm sure. People who live near cruise ports, that could be a real benefit to you. Kathy Dowling, you could drive from San Bernardino down to Long Beach, and you could do this standby, because $49 a person a day, that's a pretty good deal. I would love to tell you about any trips. I will share that I've told several people the first week of January, you will see deals. You will see deals on, I'm really surprised that we're seeing these low airfares right now, because it doesn't usually happen quite this soon. But I haven't seen less than $150 round trip to Miami in, pre-pandemic. So now is the time to check on airfare. Let us know if you need help. We'd be honored to serve you. Remember, without a travel agent, you are on your own. Hope you choose Action Travel. I'm Melinda Vargas. We'd be honored to serve you. Ciao.